I'm Dan Brisebois, and this is the Farmer Spreadsheet Academy. This is the first part in a series about Google Forms. This part of the series will be about setting up your Google form. To create your Google form, press on New in your Google Drive, and you'll hit a drop-down menu. It's possible Google Forms shows up there already. If it doesn't, click on More, and you might see it there. And if it doesn't show up there, you can also connect more apps. Once you've done that, it will always show up in this first menu. Here's our new form with no title. Let's create a harvest log. The first thing we're going to do is modify how this looks. We're going to go over to the palette in the upper right corner. If you hover over it, it should say Customize Theme. We'll click on that. And you could choose different colors. Here we're going to choose an image. We're going to upload an image. We're going to browse and get a file. I've uploaded this image. I'm going to click on Done. This shows me different background colors I can work with based on that image. If I chose a different image, it adapts the background colors in function of the image colors. Your picture should be 1600 pixels by 400 pixels to fit well as a Google Form banner. You can go right away into the first question and edit it here. You can also add new questions by clicking on the plus sign. I've added a bunch of questions into this form. I'm going to go more in depth about setting up your questions in a future Farmer Spreadsheet tip. Once you've got a few questions set up, you can go to the gear in the upper right corner on Settings, click there. Let's go to Presentation. This is the confirmation message people will see after they submit an answer. Your response has been recorded. That's a little bit impersonal. You can adapt it here. A simple thanks for your harvest data. Click Save to have that confirmation message. One other thing you want to click on for your confirmation message is whether you want people to see the link to submit another response. If this was a harvest log, you would click this here. If you were gathering data from your CSA members at the end of the season, you would unclick this, and they wouldn't see a link to submit another response. Let's leave it clicked. We'll push Save. There are 3 ways to look at a Google form. The first is the editing mode called Questions, where you set up your survey. The next is by clicking on the eyeball preview, and in this way people can actually answer the survey. Let's do that right now. So what crop did I harvest? Lettuce. How much did I harvest? 150 units. Anything to note? There's nothing to note. I'm not going to write anything, and I will submit my answer. Thanks for your harvest data. How nice of them to appreciate this. And here's a link for Submit Another Response. Had I not selected that option, I wouldn't see this as a choice at this page. And the third way to look at this is the Responses tab. We can look at a summary of all the data. We can look at them per question, or we can look at each individual answer. One other thing to highlight in the Responses tab is in the upper right corner it says Accepting Responses. This is where you can turn your form on or off. And if you click on the menu, you can choose Get Email Notifications for New Responses. And click on that. You guessed it, you're going to get an email notification for new responses. In the upper right corner you can click on Send. And here you could send this directly to people's emails, or you can also just get the URL or shorten the URL. You could share this URL with whoever's going to be filling out the form. And that was setting up your Google form. The next couple Farmer Spreadsheet tips will also be about Google Forms. So if you're excited about those, make sure you subscribe to this channel. In the meantime, happy farming.